So I thought I would take a note from my friend Eric, who has been shooting some videos outside, and this is where I came the other day when I mentioned that my video didn't work out. But it's originally I came out because I realized that my body was full of tension and I needed to get out a little bit in nature, so I came out to the park. But what I wanted to talk about today is how the way that we think about things can either make something easier or more difficult. And there's a great phrase that I like to keep in mind, which is, there's what's called necessary suffering and unnecessary suffering. So necessary suffering is when you stub your toe, you're going to experience a certain amount of pain, and that's to be expected when you stub your toe. Unnecessary suffering is when you continue to think about stubbing your toe all day and get angry about why you stubbed it. And so the way in which the structure in which that we think about something can add additional suffering that perhaps isn't needed. And in fact, if you picture something to be easy, or if you picture it to be difficult, your brain follows suit in a certain sense, and your response will follow suit. There's some quote I'm forgetting relating to that as well, which is basically, if you think things will be hard, or if you think things will be easy, you're right. And it's the way that we think about it. So this isn't about diminishing how difficult something might be, but we also don't want to add more difficulty than something is. Thinking like, oh my God, this is going to be terrible. This is going to be impossible. How can I do this? It's really suggesting, if we're going to use thinking, why don't we use it to structure things in such a way that they're a little bit easier, and then ultimately we find out in reality, we find out in the world whether something is difficult, perceived as difficult or easy. So in terms of an exercise, what I would recommend is think about something that you feel is genuinely easy, a piece of cake, and then think about something that's difficult and begin to, again, compare the structure of how you're thinking about those things. Sometimes the thing that we are perceiving as difficult, we might make the picture as very big or kind of looming over our head. And something that's easy, it might be small and just feel really easy to grapple with. So I encourage you to give that a shot, and I also encourage you, if you don't, like myself, if you don't get out often enough, to get out in nature and enjoy the afternoon.